What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and I have an apology to make. I was going through all of the shows that I missed. I was catching up on them. I've been watching them all online and doing reviews afterwards. And I skipped Bull from last week. Not because I don't like the show. It's just I have been really enjoying this first season so far. It's a show that I enjoy because it's a premise that I like. You know, the whole psychology stuff. I like that. I like the premise. I like the characters. Just I I figured this would happen at some point. Just going through, I'd miss one show, I'd miss one episode, and I have to go back and watch and review. So it finally happened. So this is season 1, episode 10, EJ, and pretty interesting episode for the most part. You got apparently this self-driving car, which isn't a thing yet, but they're working on it from what I hear. I haven't Probably should have done a little bit of research on self-driving cars. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it in action quite yet. You know, I've heard people talking about it being in action, but I haven't seen one yet. I haven't even watched videos on it. But this is all about a self-driving car, apparently with like a almost an AI personality to it, like just how he answers the questions and how he talks to everybody. It sounds like he's an actual person. I'm like, are you sure you didn't just create AI? Like that's really what it seems like. But so this car goes haywire, crushes a guy, kills him, and so the wife of the guy is suing the woman who created this whole self-driving car, and you know she apparently created this because she accidentally killed somebody that she loved way back when she was driving, and so she wanted to make sure that didn't happen again, so that's why she created it, and she named it after his initials, EJ. And then we find out that apparently one of the guys who was working with her, who loved her, but she didn't love him back because she still loved the guy that she killed, apparently he wanted, I guess, to get revenge, kind of. His motivations weren't very well explained, but he wanted to kind of get back at her, and so he created a backdoor to hack into EJ, and apparently the guy behind it all turned out to be the black guy who was in charge. I think his name was Dean. He killed that Adam because he didn't want any loose ends, and killed Carter because he didn't want any loose ends with him, and ultimately it was kind of obvious, you know, like he was the one behind it because everybody else was innocent or dead. So yeah, all of this is going on. There's a scene where, you know, they have to convince her that EJ is not a person, that he doesn't represent Evan, the guy that she loved, and it's pretty emotional. You know, you see she doesn't want to accept that. She doesn't want to accept that she's done. She wants to find a way to really work and break down that back door so people can't hack into it. 'Cause she wants to create this. It's her dream to create this and help people, you know, save lives. And so it's pretty emotional. I mean, it gets even more intense whenever Bull and what's her name? Dang it, Jenny. Jenny. I'm pretty sure it's Jenny. But they get into one of EJ's cars, and all of a sudden EJ just goes haywire and starts driving him towards the river. And it's about to drive off into the river. And he's just, holy crap! But Cable manages to hack in just in time and shut it down right before they get to the river. So all this intensity, finally decides she's going to go testify. Jenny does. So now she's testified, comes back with a not guilty verdict. They arrest the black guy. All's well that ends well. And then a final scene comes and just screws everything up. Honestly, the final scene between Jenny and Bull completely changed my opinion on this episode. And going into it, it got a 6.6 on IMDb. And I said during my Criminal Minds review, I don't let that affect when I'm doing these reviews. I don't let that affect my opinion there. But going into an episode, I can be like, holy crap, 6.6? That's the worst this season. Is it really that bad? And going through the episode, I'm like, this isn't 6.6 worthy. I mean, yeah, the self-driving car is a little bit goofy, and just how AI feeling it is, but I mean, it's a good episode. It's emotional. The scene at the end where you see Jenny and Erica, the guy who died's wife, you see them like talking at the end, and she's really sympathetic about it. And even though this woman was trying to sue her and her company, you can see that at the end of it all, she understands it wasn't her fault, and she feels like it is. And so they sort of bond over that, and it's a really emotional scene. And I'm just like, how is this a 6.6? And then this final scene, they come to the place where apparently Evan was killed whenever Jenny was driving the car. And then all of a sudden she's like, it was your doing whenever EJ went haywire, right? Cable did that, right? It was a nice touch. I'm like, wait, what? Is that why he wasn't mentioning that when he was talking to Dean earlier? Because he was having this conversation with him, and I'm like, why isn't he saying, and you hacked our car this morning? Why isn't she saying that somebody else was behind it besides Carter? Because Carter's already dead, so who hacked him this morning? And honestly, whenever it went to commercial break, after all of a sudden the car got hacked and it started going haywire, I'm thinking, okay, if they really wanted to be stupid about this, Cable's gonna like drive them to Bull's place, and she's gonna be like, I figured out how to hack into it. I know how to close the back door and make it all sappy and stuff. Like, that would be a stupid thing. That would be worthy of a 6.6. But they don't. It looks like he's actually trying to kill them. And I'm like, okay, so somebody actually is hacking them. That's pretty intense. So whenever they don't even mention it, whenever she's not talking about the fact that somebody hacked the car this morning and tried to kill them, I'm just like, why? Why aren't they talking about that? Why aren't they blaming Dean for this? And so whenever she drops this bit of information, like, oh, it was you, wasn't it? I'm like, are you serious? You blew a really intense scene. You made it all like, oh, it's all good, guys. We're all good here. We don't have any worry whatsoever. There's no intensity in our show. No, we're not trying to kill people. No, it was all Bull's doing. It was all him. Could you believe it, guys? It's just incredible how he managed to do. I thought about slapping myself, but then I realized that's what the show wants me to do. Because really, that's just a dumb, lame way to get out of what could have been a very intense and rather fun scene. You know, we haven't had that yet. We haven't had the bad guy try to kill Dr. Bull, which you think bad guys would start to do, because whenever he comes in, bad guys get arrested. And for some reason, nobody's trying to kill him. And so I thought this was the first time. Ooh, intense scene. Nope, they go and screw it up by saying, oh, it's all Dr. Bull's fault. And she's not even mad about it. That was the thing. Like, I expected her to find out about it and then be, I can't believe you did that to me. Like, why would you do that? And then he would be like, oh, well, it helped you, didn't it? And then she'd be like, yeah, you're probably right. No, it wasn't even like she was mad about it. She's just like, yeah, that was a good one. That was a nice touch. You making me think I was about to die. I was crying. There were tears coming out of my eyes during that whole scene. But oh, you, Dr. Bull, you stupid bitch. And then on top of all of this, she throws EJ away. Because, you know, a self-driving car that could only be hacked by one guy who's now dead, she couldn't fix the hack and continue to make EJ and possibly make a ton of money that she could then give to Erica, who probably needs it after her husband died. No, let's just throw EJ away, because one guy hacking it who's just as smart as her and who's personally connected with her, probably the only one who could have hacked it, is now dead. But yeah, let's just throw him away, because we need resolution. And this is her getting over Evan's death. Because, yeah, her throwing away a multi-billion-dollar idea that could have easily funded several other of your brilliant projects that you've been talking about, that's just something you just throw away because one guy who happens to be the only guy who... Why did they include this final scene? And they even tried to make it like, oh, what's happening, guys? Tune in next week to find out, which it's not even next week. It's probably going to be next week after this. But he's like, I need to get in touch with somebody I left behind. Dial somebody. Hi, Amy. I'm like, who's Amy? Well, am I supposed to know who Amy is? Are they just leading us on like, oh, who's Amy, guys? Come back and find out. Because honestly, that entire scene is already completely just frustrated me. So you throwing this in makes me think you want us to come back, and this is the best thing you can think of, is just throwing in this, oh, to be continued. This show is doing so well. It was such a good first season. There were no stupid mistakes. You know, there were some episodes that were kind of forgettable. There were some episodes where you're just kind of like, oh, well, you know, that was okay. And there were some episodes that were really good. This one seemed like it was going to be a good episode. And then that entire final scene just completely flips it and makes it a bad episode. Because all of the stuff that happened And this entire episode is completely just thrown out the door for this final scene and just says, screw it. We want to have some sappy, happy ending where instead of her getting mad for almost dying, and instead of her using her idea, which could make several $1,000,000 at least for her, she's gonna throw it away. Because who wants to buy a self-driving car, right? I'm really sad. I didn't think I was gonna have to do a bad review for the show. I thought this show's doing well. I'm happy with it. Even on the okay episodes, I personally enjoy it. So I never expected this to happen, but this show just completely ruined in an episode for me, and in one scene too. It's unbelievable. But I'm still gonna watch it. Obviously, I'm not. This episode is not going to make me stop watching it. But it is upsetting that they decided to do all of that for what could have been a really good episode. You know, it's a shame, really. So, long story short, I'm not happy with this, but I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do next. If they can turn it around and have the next one be better, so that way we're not going to just be on a downward slope from here. But we'll see. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What did you like and dislike about this episode? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Bull reviews. I'll see you at the next one. Peace out.